There is a silent pain that we all know, even if no one wants to admit it. That strange emptiness that throbs when the night is too quiet. That feeling that something is missing, even though you apparently have everything. They call it anxiety. They call it loneliness. They call it routine. But what if it were none of that? What if it were actually the echo of your soul reminding you that you are not from here? That you are much more than a body, more than a personal story, more than a number within the system. They say we live in a world governed by the visible. But tell me, does the visible explain that magnetic attraction you feel towards certain people? That shiver that runs across your skin when someone walks into a room? That inexplicable tenderness with which a child or an animal looks at you as if they had known you forever? Science reduces it to instincts, but the ancient sages called it vibration. There are beings who walk among us radiating such a high frequency that they don't even know it. Ordinary people, apparently invisible, who are actually beacons of light in the middle of a dark ocean. And maybe you are one of them. They don't need to speak. They don't need to prove anything. Their very presence changes the atmosphere of a place. Where there was tension, calm appears. Where there was fear, trust arises. Where there were shadows, clarity begins to emerge. Have you ever wondered why strangers feel safe telling you their secrets? Why animals seek your company? Why the eyes of strangers fix on you as if they sensed something you yourself cannot fully understand? That is not coincidence. It is energy. It is the reflection of your vibration resonating in those who have not yet recognized it in themselves. But be careful, because that same light that inspires many also wounds others. There are those who, when looking at you, cannot bear to see reflected in you what they have not healed. And then they react with rejection, discomfort, or even hostility. Not because you are the problem, but because your frequency reveals what they are hiding. And here arises the great question. What does it mean to live with a high vibration in a world designed to keep you low? It means witnessing strange, almost magical phenomena that defy logic. It means feeling how eyes fix on you without apparent reason. It means noticing how conversations with strangers turn into deep confessions, as if your soul functioned as a refuge where others can rest. Children know it. Animals too. They don't need scientific explanations or philosophical speeches. Their senses remain intact, free from the contamination of adult noise. That's why, when they come to you, it is not by chance. They perceive what you radiate. They recognize the spark that humans usually forget as we grow up. And cats, silent guardians between the visible and the invisible, feel drawn to you because they recognize in your energy a home. But there is more. Those who vibrate high begin to perceive what others ignore. You notice subtle changes in the atmosphere of places. You feel the density of a room before entering it. You sense the truth behind words. Your perception sharpens to the point where lies become transparent. And although sometimes this exhausts you, although you seek refuge in silence or solitude, never forget that this gift is also your mission. Because vibrating high is not a privilege, it is a responsibility. It is not an esoteric game nor a spiritual ornament. It is the purest form of service. Your light is invisible medicine for a world sick with fear. Your energy, even if you don't know it, inspires others to remember who they really are. And yet, living this way is not easy, because your frequency breaks schemes, unsettles systems, and dismantles masks. Some will try to dim you. Others will look at you with suspicion. There will be those who come close to you only to absorb your energy because they still don't understand how to create their own. And here lies the challenge. To remain whole, not to yield, not to hide your light, just to fit in. Ask yourself something. How many times have you felt that you don't belong to this world? How many times have you sought answers in religion, in science, in philosophies, only to discover that nothing quite fit? Perhaps the answer was never outside. Perhaps it was always within you, in that vibration that makes you a silent beacon, a light worker who didn't even know they were one. They say true spirituality needs no temples, no dogmas, no words, because the soul speaks a universal language that crosses cultures, languages, and borders. And when your frequency rises, that language awakens. You feel it in silences, in glances, in the way a stranger breaks into tears at your side because somehow they feel understood. So listen closely. If you've ever felt watched for no reason, if children and animals seek your presence, if strangers approach you to tell you what they would never tell anyone else, if you perceive the vibration of places before entering them, then don't doubt it. Your light is already at work. And the most unsettling part is this: you don't even have to do anything. Your mere existence is already an act of transformation. Your vibration, that invisible pulse you emit, is already changing the world. There is something many keep quiet about because they don't know how to explain it. When you vibrate high, clocks sometimes seem to fail near you. It's as if your energy field alters the mechanisms of time. There are people who recount how their watches stop, how the hands freeze, or even how electronic devices begin to behave erratically in their presence. Coincidence? Or perhaps the inner vibration alters the electromagnetic field that surrounds us. Another little understood phenomenon is the sensation of spontaneous unfolding. Many high-vibration souls experience, even if only once in life, what they call sudden astral travel. They are lying down, relaxed, and suddenly they feel themselves floating, separating from their body and looking at the world from above. It is a disconcerting moment, but it is also a reminder that consciousness is not trapped in matter, but transcends it. There is also the perception of time speeding up or slowing down. When your vibration is very high, you enter a state where a brief conversation seems to contain hours of wisdom, or where an entire day feels as if it passed in the blink of an eye. This shift in time perception is another sign that your consciousness is tuning into planes different from the ordinary. There are those who speak of the light that begins to surround them at certain moments. Not a metaphor, but literally a glow in their photographs, a halo that others notice even if you yourself have never seen it. That luminosity is nothing less than the physical manifestation of your spiritual vibration. It is the aura expanding, showing that inside you there is a living beacon, even if ordinary eyes do not always perceive it. High-vibration people also often encounter repeated symbols, numbers that constantly appear on clocks, license plates, or receipts. The famous 1111, the 333, or sequences that seem to follow you wherever you go. For many, it is nothing but chance, but for you, it is a reminder that reality is not blind, but speaks to you in a hidden language, that of synchronicity. Another strange aspect is the ease of anticipating what is going to happen. I'm not talking about grand visions or prophecies, but about accurate intuitions. Thinking of someone and suddenly they call you, dreaming of a place and encountering it the next day, feeling that something is going to happen, and then it does. These subtle premonitions are part of the natural equipment of a soul that vibrates high, because it is tuned to the invisible web where everything is already connected. And there is something else, perhaps the most unsettling of all. When a person with high vibration comes into contact with someone trapped in very dense emotions, that person may start to cry without knowing why, to confess pains they had never shared, or even to show immediate rejection, as if your light were an unbearable mirror. What really happens is that your energy works like a flashlight in a dark room. It illuminates what others have tried to hide for years. The curious thing is that despite all this, high vibration souls almost never feel superior. Quite the opposite. They feel a deep desire to protect, to serve, to care. That humility is, paradoxically, what multiplies their brightness. And here is where everything becomes even more mysterious. Because perhaps the strangest thing about high vibration souls is not what they live day by day, but what they awaken in others without even intending to. A simple exchange of glances can trigger a forgotten memory in someone. A word of theirs can become the seed of a profound transformation. Even a shared silence can open cracks in another person's emotional armor. It is as if they were living keys that open doors we didn't even know were closed. But the ultimate secret is here. When you live in high vibration, it is not you who seeks the path. It is the path that begins to seek you. The right books fall into your hands. Teachers appear suddenly. The places you visit seem to have been waiting for you all along. Everything begins to align in a cosmic dance that has no logical explanation, but feels more real than anything else. And in that moment, you discover that the universe is not outside of you, but beating within you. And I want you to take something very clear from this journey. Your light is not measured by what you do, but by what you are. You don't need great feats or grandiloquent words. Simply existing from your truth, from your purest vibration, is already an act of service to the world. Your energy becomes a reminder of what all of us, absolutely all of us, can become. So I propose something. If you have come this far, if you have felt that this message touched something deep within you, I want you to leave it written in the comments with this phrase: I am light, and my vibration is my gift. In this way, not only will you confirm that you have remained until the end, but you will also leave an energetic imprint that others will be able to read and feel. And if you want to keep exploring more secrets, more mysteries, more hidden truths that are never taught on the surface of this world, I invite you to subscribe right now. Not to follow just another channel, but to enter a community of seekers, of awakened souls, of travelers who know that the extraordinary is much closer than we think. I bid you farewell, but not with a goodbye. Rather with a question that may accompany you for a long time. What if the light you see in others were nothing more than the reflection of the light already burning within you? Until the next journey, walker of the invisible.